Hey guys, Brad here. Today we're going to take a look at Milwaukee's planer. This is the M12 planer, and I think you're going to be surprised why I bought this. I will tell you why after we get through all of the specs and what you get with this little planer. Now, Milwaukee is selling this as a bare tool only at the moment, and it's a super handy little planer. It's only 2 1/8 across here. Really handy planer if you're a carpenter like myself, a deck builder, someone who's just working with wood all the time. You gotta have a planer to just marry things together, make things fit, keep them flush, all that good stuff. For starters, on the front, this is where we're adjusting all the way up to 5/64. This has really nice positive stops on it. And you can actually see this plate moving up and down as you adjust this. Now, one of the biggest features on here that I absolutely love is the dust chip deflection. So on the front here, we have a lever that you can switch to the left or the right. And what this does is it shoots the dust out the right side or the left side. So depending on what you're doing, the reason I love this is because if you are planing on edge like this, you don't want those chips coming up into your face. So you can just flick this down and they're going to shoot down onto the floor. So that's huge. I'm used to using the DeWalt planer, which is right here, which is a great planer. You can see the size difference, and it only has the dust coming out one side. So you're always having to watch out because it's going to hit you in the face. So having that ability, to me, is by far one of the best features of this planer. Now, it has the safety switch here where you just pull back this little lever and then you can pull the trigger. So that's really nice. And we have onboard blade storage. So I love this. I think having the blade storage on these is just a key thing to have. You never know when you're going to hit a nail or a screw and it just destroys these blades. So they have onboard tool storage as well. So your Allen key is here. This will adjust and take off your blades. So you just have to rotate this. You take out these screws. Then you can take the plate off and pull your blade out. Just make sure you got that battery out, guys, because you do not want to accidentally turn this on. For batteries, you could use the smaller ones like a CP 2.5. This is the high output, but I would highly recommend you use one of the XCs. It's just a better battery for this. It's going to run a little cooler, so fits in here just like that. That's what it looks like. Still stays nice and compact. Guys, if you're liking the video, make sure you subscribe, hit that notify bell, and leave some comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Do you have this? What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? I'd love to hear from you. I try and respond to the comments as quickly as I can. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notify bell and give me a thumbs up if you're liking the video. When I first started using this, I had some weird habit of wanting to put my hand down here, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's such a small tool, but I really had to focus on keeping my hand up top. I was getting dangerously close to those blades, and I'm not sure why. I think it's just because it was so small, and you kind of forget that there's these blades down here spinning around and they might chop your fingers off. So keep that in mind. Keep both hands up top, guys. Now, the other cool feature on this is dust collection, and this is why I bought this tool. So right here, you've got your dust port, and it's removable. And you can click on either side. Just pull it off, slide it on. Super easy to remove. So if you don't want to use it, you just take it off. They give you this little piece here, which can connect to vacuums of all different sizes, but they also give you this attachment. So this attachment just clips right on, just like that. And now you can fit all different sizes of vacuum hoses. Now, the different size vacuum hoses you can put on here are 1.5 inches, 1 7/8. 2.5. You can also put your Festool hose in here, which I'll show you right away. So your Festool hose can just slide right in here. You got to twist a little bit, but it will fit. And this rotates all the way around. So it's really nice, but that's not the main reason I bought this. So for me, being a renovator, being in someone's house, planers produce a ton of dust. Even working outside on a deck, these things produce crazy amounts of dust. So I have the Milwaukee backpack vacuum. This thing I absolutely love, and here's a big reason. This hose will actually connect onto this planer. So you take off the supplied attachment, and Milwaukee gives you this attachment with the backpack vacuum. So you slide this on, locks in place, and then it actually clicks into place on this planer. Now, yeah, it's a bit of an overkill, but when you're doing work in someone's house and maybe you don't have it all tarped off, you need to do a quick plane, having this so mobile on your back or even beside you is a huge plus in my industry. Now, even when I'm doing decks, I'll walk around with this on my back and I can hit those decks because I don't want to have to blow all this dust off the ground and, you know, just do a huge cleanup at the end of the day or end of the job. I'd rather minimize that dust and clean it as I go. So not every job is like that, but some jobs I do require that I need to be cleaning as I go. And these planers, if you've used one, you know they just create so much wood chip that it's almost unbearable. That is the main reason why I purchased this, was the fact that I can pair it with this backpack. Huge deal for me. Now granted, DeWalt has this style of attachment and this pairs with their vacuums, but they don't have a backpack vacuum. They have these larger HEPA vacs, which fits on here. I have that, but I don't want to be lugging a giant vacuum around with a big hose. I'd rather just be compact, small, mobile, and just get the job done quicker and faster. Now, as far as the planing side goes, this is perfect for doing doors, for doing decks, you know, scribing to walls. It's a 2 1/8 inch base plate, and you've got the V groove on the bottom here. So if you need a chamfer or something, that works out really nicely as well. It's super light, just coming in at around 3 pounds. You've got the power meter on the side. It's just such a handy little tool to have if you are a woodworker like myself. So recently I had to plane off some plywood with this thing. We were framing in around a fireplace and the plywood got tipped somehow, just from some flanges in behind. So I had to plane it straight so that when we put our drywall over top, it was going to lay nice and flat. So having this vacuum was perfect because I could just go in there and plane it all down. And I didn't make a huge mess of this clean house that we're working on. So this was a big plus, the fact that I could just hook up to this. The capacity of this is also really great. I was able to do it with only emptying this out once in between. So it made a big difference as far as, you know, being able to be clean. I didn't have to sweep up afterwards. It was just all collected right as I did it. Another great feature about this is the stand. So if you just flick this little lever off to the side, you've got a stand here. Now that's there to protect your blades. So if you forget to zero this out, you've got this little blade protector on the bottom. Now you don't have to lock this in place when you're using it. You can keep it down, and as you come into plane, it'll fold up. I personally like to keep it locked in. I've been using planers a long time, so I very rarely set them down unless I zero this out, or I find a piece of wood and I'm always just kind of leaning them up like that. Another cool thing is on the side here, you've got this protection plate. So this protects you from the blade as you're using it, but it also allows you to get really close and tight. If you're trying to do a rabbet, for instance, so if you're trying to get in real close, you can work down and down into the wood until you can have a nice rabbet on the side. So being able to retract that is a nice little feature while keeping your hands nice and safe. All right, guys, I hope the video was helpful. I love this tool. I love it paired with this vacuum. I think it's a great combo. Milwaukee really hit it out of the park. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Make sure you subscribe. Until next time, keep on crushing it, and we'll catch you later.